The movie begins with John, a hunter working in Alaska for an oil company. His job is to protect the workers from wolves. John shares his deep sorrow over the death of his wife, Anna, who passed away due to illness. He feels guilty for not being able to save her and believes his life no longer has meaning. He even considers ending his life, but the sound of wolves changes his mind, reminding him that he still has an important role to protect the workers. One day, John boards a plane with the workers heading for a vacation. A man named Todd sits next to him and annoys him with constant talking. Shortly after, the plane crashes due to a powerful storm, and John wakes up to find himself surrounded by wreckage. He starts searching for survivors and finds Todd with a leg injury, so he bandages it and continues looking. He finds Hernandez and some other workers, but many have died. One of the injured workers bleeds out and dies in front of them. John encourages the others to work together to survive the harsh environment. They light a fire to keep warm. Suddenly, John sees a wolf feeding on a corpse. It attacks and bites him, but the others help drive it away. John tells them they're likely in the heart of the wolves' territory and that they must move the bodies to avoid attracting more. While moving the corpses, Diaz steals a dead man's wallet. John catches him, threatens him, and forces him to return it. That night, a large wolf, the Alpha, appears. John tells everyone to stay still so the wolves don't sense fear. Eventually, the wolves retreat. They start taking turns for guard duty, but Hernandez is killed during his shift. John decides they must leave and head toward the nearby forest. Diaz objects, but the others follow John. On the way, Todd lags behind due to his injury and is killed by wolves. The rest escape by sliding down a slope. They light a fire again to stay safe, and John crafts spears from tree branches and attaches bullets to them, instructing the others how to fight off future wolf attacks. Diaz gets into a fight with John, but when the alpha wolf reappears, Diaz is terrified and apologizes. Another wolf attacks Diaz, but John kills it using the spear. They cook and eat the wolf, and Diaz throws its head toward the wolves' direction. The wolves howl furiously, signaling a desire for revenge. They continue their journey, but Bert gets exhausted, so they rest. Each person shares stories about their life. John reveals his father was harsh and had written a poem about fighting to survive. He always remembered the final line, "I will fight until my last day." That night, Bert dies from the cold. They move on and discover a tree stump that was cut with a chainsaw, indicating nearby human presence. They find a river, but it's at the bottom of a high cliff. They make a rope to cross to the other side. Henrik jumps first, but the rope snaps. Diaz saves him just in time. After securing the rope, John crosses safely. Then Talget, who is afraid of heights, tries to follow. He panics, drops his glasses, and rushes, causing the rope to break. He falls and is fatally injured. He imagines seeing his daughter, but in reality, the wolves surround and kill him before anyone can help. John, Diaz, and Henrik reach the riverbank, but Diaz is too weak to continue and decides to stay behind. He says goodbye and sits down. Soon after, they hear his screams as wolves attack him. Henrik tells John that he saw him once trying to end his life. A new wolf attack begins, and Henrik falls into the river and drowns. John tries to save him but fails, and he emerges from the water, exhausted and heartbroken. John takes out the wallets of the dead and is moved by the photos of their families. He opens the letter he wrote to his wife, but hears the wolves closing in on him. The Alpha appears, and the pack steps back, letting him face John alone. John places the letter in the wallet, ties broken glass to one hand and a knife to the other. He recites the final line of his father's poem, "I will fight until my last day," and prepares to face the Alpha wolf. The story ends at the peak of their confrontation.